Hi students, in this video we are going to learn a poem and the name of poem is The Pulley. This poem is written by George Herbert. So before that we have to know little bit introduction of George Herbert. George Herbert was a Welsh poet and he was prized by the profession. He wrote so many poems, and the theme of his poem is religion as well. In his poem, we can find so many imageries as and concepts also. Okay, so in this poem, George Herbert just want to say how the relationship between God and his worshippers are there. So God showed so many things or blessings on their worshippers, and in the return God want something. So which things he want from human being, that all things are we can find in this poem. So after that we have to know what is the exactly theme of this poem. Okay, so God gives so many precious gifts to the devotees, but at the same time God also expects something in return. What does he expect? Why does he withhold? These questions we have to know by this poem. Okay, we know that when God created all human beings, in short, in this poem we can find a little bit a philosophy or religious thing. Okay, and that religious things from a Christian community or Bible, we can say. The pulley shows how God lifts man toward himself with the pulley of restlessness. What is distinctly metaphysical about the poem is that a religious notion is conveyed through a secular scientific image. So this was the little bit introduction of poem. So we have to know that what is the important in this poem. First thing, in this poem we can find the philosophy of Christian community or the Bible. Okay, the Bible, this is the religious holy book of Christian community, Bible. In this poem, poet just want to say God created human being or a devotee, or we can say God is a creator and human beings are creation of that God. And so God gives so many valuable, precious things to the human being. But we know that as a habit, God also want a little bit in return. Means if God is giving so many things to the human being, then human being also give a little bit to God in the return. Same things are there. And after that, we have to know this poem is a metaphysical poem. Metaphysical, it means beyond the understanding, beyond our imagination. So this is the metaphysical poem. It means there are so many imagery, figure of speeches are used as well. Metaphor also used. Okay, so many things which are described in this poem that are beyond our understanding, beyond our uh, realization, and that's why we can say this is the metaphysical poet. So let's begin the poem stanza by stanza. First stanza is there. First of all, I will read the first stanza and after that explain to you. First stanza. When God at first made man, having a glass of blessing standing by, let us, said he, pour on him all we can, let the words reach us, which despairs lie contrast into a span. So in this paragraph, in this stanza, poet just want to say that God created all human beings, okay, all human race. And when God created all human race or the creation of God, at that time, God was standing there with the glass of blessings. And in that glass, there are so many blessings. And God want to pour that all blessings on the human being, on the human race. Okay, in that there are richness or wealth or bounties we can say. And one thing we have to know that the valuable things that are contrasted, okay, that are spread everywhere, and God want to collect that all things, and God wanted to give that all valuable things to the human being, that all richness God want to give the human being, because God is a creator and human beings are the creation of that God, and that is the main reason God want to pour of so many things on the human being as a blessings. And that's why God is standing there with the glass of blessings, and he want to pour that all blessings on the human being. Okay, in short, when God created all human beings at that time, God wanted to give so many all happiness to human beings. Okay, these things we have to learn in the first stanza. So next stanza is there. So strength first made a way, then a beauty flowed, then wisdom, honor, pleasure. When almost all was out, God made a stay, perceiving that alone of all his treasures, rest is the bottom lay. Okay, in this stanza, poet just want to say, when God started to give blessings to the human being at that time, first thing God has given to the human being, that was a strength. Okay, and after that, God blessed human being, the beauty, after that the wisdom, honor, and pleasures. These all things are poured by God on the human being, and when almost all was out, all was given by God, and lastly, God made us stay there. Okay, because from his treasure he had given so many things. Only one thing is remaining in the bottom of that glass, in that treasure. Okay, okay, and that remaining thing was the rest. Okay, so God was thinking about that. If the God has given that rest to human being, then what will happen? Okay, and that's why God was stopped there, and God did not give the rest to the human being. So simple thing is there, we have to know. First thing God poured on human being, that was a strength. After that, God given beauty, then wisdom and honor also. Okay, so and when God was given such type of things as a blessing to human being, and lastly God made us stay there. God stopped to giving blessings to human being, because when he saw in that glass, okay, the blessing glass, he saw there was only one thing is remaining there, and that one thing was the rest. Okay, and God was thinking about that, we have to give the rest to human being or not. That's why he stopped to giving the blessing, and he was thinking there. So what God was thinking, that we have to know in the next paragraph. So next para, for if I should, said he means God, bestow this jewel also on my creature, he would adore my gifts instead of me, and rest in nature, not the God of nature. So both should loser be. So in this paragraph, we have to know that God was thinking, and God said that if he has given the rest to his creature, or to his creation, as a to human being, okay, then human being will not worship to the God, they will worship only the rest. Okay, they will worship to the things there. And if God is not giving the rest to the human being, then definitely the human being will worship to the God, and only this thing God wants in the return from human being. And suppose God has given of most precious thing, and that is the rest. Okay, then definitely God also become a loser, as well as the human beings also become loser in their life, because if they get the rest in their life, they will never do anything, and that human being only worship to the rest or the things, not to the God. And that's why God don't want to give a blessing of rest to the human being. Okay, these things we have to know from this paragraph, from this stanza. So simple thing we have to know from this 5 lines. When there was only one thing in the bottom of that glass, okay, blessing glass, and God made us stay there, and God was thinking, if he has given this jewelry as a jewelry, it means the rest, okay, to the creature or a human being, then definitely human being doesn't understand the value of God, and they will not worship to the God, and they will worship only to the rest. Okay, and after that God also become the loser, and human being also become loser, because they are only taking the rest in their life. It means they are not loving to the God, they are loving to the rest, and that's why God was not ready to give the rest to the human beings. So last thing and last paragraph, 8, let him keep the rest, but keep them with repairing restlessness. Let him be rich and weary, that at last, if goodness laid him not, let wearing may toss him to my breast. So this is the last stanza of this poem, and in this poem, or in this stanza, poet just want to say God want to keep the human being restlessness. It means human being never take much rest in their life, and they will always be worried about so many things in their life. Means human beings are not satisfied, they are always anxious about so many things, they were always thinking. So God given so many things to human being, but rest is not given to them. Okay, there is only a little bit rest in the life of human being, but there are so many dissatisfactions in the life of human being given by God, and that is the main reason. Okay, every human being works so many things in the life to earn money or so many things. Okay, for okay, but they are always in the worry, they are always want so many things in their life. Okay, and this is the last stanza that we have to know that. So once again we have to know the meaning of that last stanza. God don't want to give the rest to human being, and so instead of giving a rest to the human being, God giving them restlessness. It means that they repeating restlessness, it means continuous a- uh, anxiety due to dissatisfaction. Means they are always, human beings are always nervous in their life, and they are always dissatisfied whatever they are having. These things are given by God to the human beings, and that is the main reason. Now we can see everywhere, if someone is very rich, having so many wealth, so many money, but instead of having so many things, he is not happy whatever he has having at that moment, and he was always worrying. He and we know that when human being become much tired, after that he take a little bit rest in the life, but lastly human being never become a restful. He always become worried about so many things, and in this way God don't like to give the rest, and instead of giving rest, God given to the human being dissatisfaction and uh, sadness, because they have to work in their life, they have to work, and always human being has to worship to the God, and that is the main reason God never given the rest to the human being. In this way this poem ends here.